Hello, this is Rohan, and here's a video I wasn't expecting to make, but thanks to a demo of this game being available, I thought that I think it was right that I do a video about this considering how important Fire Emblem is to the channel. So here's my thoughts on the free host demo. No gameplay footage unfortunately because I can't record it, but we'll see what I put in the background when I edit this. But anyway, so Fire Emblem Three Hopes, or Warriors Three Hopes should be saying. So yeah, this is a Warriors spin-off of Fire Emblem Warriors, of course. So yeah, it's focused around Fodor and the Three Houses cast. So initially this game seemed, pretty basic and stuff, but then some trailers came out which showed some interesting things. A new playable character, Violet being a villain, all the students being playable, and stuff like that. And even like some very interesting things, like some of the like some information about what to expect in some of the rats as well. So yeah, this game started to become very interesting to me in terms of the plot, and yeah, that was the main thing I was looking forward to when I sat down and played this demo. It's to see the plot and see if I prefer it over Three Houses. We'll see how I feel about that as we talk, but yeah. Let's just say that, this is a really interesting story to talk about, so even at this beginning stage, so yeah. So anyway, gameplay-wise though, I have played a similar game before. I haven't actually played a Warriors game yet. This is my first time doing so, and actually it went pretty good, but yeah, I'll save that for later. But anyway, the similar game I played before was an indie game called Castle Crashers. It's a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up. Oh, it's not side-scrolling, but I guess it... I don't know. But yeah, this game has a large cast, and it has comp-based gameplay, so that was what I was being reminded of the most. Other than, well, other Warriors games, of course, which I haven't played. But yeah, I sank a lot of hours into Castle Crashers during secondary school, late secondary school, I should be saying. Because yeah, even though it's a multiplayer game, I played a lot of my gameplay was actually single player, and enjoying like all the cast and stuff. So yeah, pretty interesting. But anyway, now I'm gonna go over a short plot synopsis, basically, of the demo. So yeah, that means I'm gonna need to spoil some things, including some potential things in Three Houses as well. So you have them all. Anyway, so the first map. So the first map is pretty interesting. We get introduced to our new main character. Normally they're called Shez, but in my playthrough I made them a girl and I made them Saki. Because I was using Haruka a lot lately, so yeah, I wanted to mix things up a bit. But here's the interesting thing, you can name the Ashen Demon too. So same I think, oh, I just named him like, something. But yeah, here's the interesting thing. So I picked male Byleth as the Ashen Demon, but here's the thing, the name did not default to Byleth, he defaulted to Rohan instead, so that's the name I went with. I'm gonna assume that my Three Houses save data had something to do with that, which I found really interesting. But anyway, so we get to the map, I get used to gameplay, which I'll go over later. But yeah, the story for this map was actually really interesting, and it does tie into some stuff I'm going to be saying later. So, Saki tries to defeat the Ashen Demon Rohan. Yeah, this sounds like a fanfic that I talk about like that. But unfortunately, her fellow merc friends died during this battle, and Saki almost dies herself. But thanks to her hidden power, by this deity named Arvel, she survives. And yeah, we get that as a gameplay feature as well, because that's the awakening state of Saki. But anyway, despite the hidden power, Rohan the Ashen Demon retreats, and yeah, you won't be seeing him again at all actually. But yeah, judging by the trailers though, they're probably gonna be one of the main antagonists for this game. Because they do come back in the enlightened form in one of the trailers, so yeah. So anyway, after that, kind of brutal map for our main character. Time for the second map. So this map, the first and second map, when you think about it, it's like a two-part version of the first map in Three Houses. So yeah, this map we get introduced to three house leaders because yeah, they wanted to go to Ramaya Village, I do believe, just like Saki did, because well, Violet's probably the Rohan, I guess she's saying. Anyway, so this map basically it tells us how they play and how to take advantage of their advantages. So yeah, the weapon triangles in this game, not like Three Houses. So swords beat axes, axes beat lances, lances beat swords. And yeah, that ties into the gameplay. If you use the weapon triangle advantage against the enemy on the map, you're gonna more easily take them down. And yeah, this is what the second map basically teaches you. It also teaches you how to order your units, which I think is a really cool feature, which yeah, I'll go into more detail later. But anyway, so we beat that map, and afterwards you get sent to this like camp area, kind of like during the Black, or it's like the Black Eagles. When you've sighted Eagleguard, you have this like base area before you go to the monastery again and do the final map before the time skip. Kinda reminds you of that. But yeah, a lot less, you know, evil, because, you know, no Eagleguard. But anyway, I mean, Eagleguard is the, but, you know, it's not evil Eagleguard, but anyway. So yeah, this is your opportunity to get acquainted with the students, because yeah, afterwards you have to make the choice. So here's something interesting as well after this map. So before the third map, you have to choose what house you're gonna be joining, and not as a mercenary, even though yeah, that is Saki's MO basically. She talks about being a mercenary a lot, which actually I like, which yeah, I'll talk about later. But yeah, she's not even gonna join as a teacher either, unlike, you know, you know who. Instead as a student, and actually she looks really cute in the uniform. But anyway, I chose the Golden Deer, and yeah, that just like my first pick for Three Houses actually. And yeah, this is a choice I was actually really pleased with later, and allowed me a lot of things to talk about too. But yeah, I would like to hear about how the other routes went too. I haven't seen them yet. And yeah, I have. Thanks to the Golden Deer playthrough, I do know a little bit about what to expect about the other routes, but yeah, we'll have to... I can't wait to hear what other people have to say about them. But anyway, so now Saki gets acquainted with the Golden Deer, and now we get to this like map with some thieves that have been retreating, basically. I think they were. So this place is interesting. We get to rescue Monica, which was pretty interesting because yeah, in Three Houses, she died off and was probably replaced by Kronya. So after we do that though, the slivers come and we have to fight Kronya, and as well as a demonic beast, and it tells us how to fight those as well. So, oh yeah, another thing about this fact too. So we actually get Yuritsa as a teacher. He's basically a green for this whole matter. That's a really cool role for him because you didn't really get to see what he's like as a teacher in Three Houses. He's kind of just, you know, the aloof, stoic, all that, doesn't really talk much, and he just leaves after we figure out, hey, he's the Death Knight. But anyway, so yeah, Monica suggests that Tomas, just like in Three Houses, is kind of sus, and it turns out he was stolen all along, and he escapes. But it does make Saki question whether she's related to the slivers or not, which yeah, judging by what some people have said, she very well could be. It's maybe because of Awful, which yeah, we'll talk about her later as well. But anyway, next page on my notes. Yeah, let's keep going. So now we have the fourth map, this is the map before the time skip, because yeah, the prologue is the whole before the time skip, which yeah, I'll go into it a bit. Anyway, so the fourth map, I do believe this map is different based on the route, which yeah, I like the fact that the routes are a lot more distinct now that it's a bit shorter. So that's great. But anyway, the fourth map, so the Almarians are trying to take the Fodlan's Locket. Which, yeah, that sounds a lot like Killer's Parallel, but yeah, this map is a lot more fleshed out though. We have a very interesting villain, not only Nadir, but also this dude called Shahid, who seems to be a brother of Claude from what I could tell. But yeah, I could be wrong about that. But yeah, he seems like a very interesting villain, I can't wait to see more of him. But also, Holster's here. He's not being mushroom poisoned nowadays, so that's good. It was interesting to see that he was a sword master on the map, I do believe, even though he should be using Free Kugel, but oh well. That's the weapon I assume he'd be using, but anyway. He's really cool. It was cool to see him, because yeah, he seems like a very likable guy, and he did a very good job on the map as well. But anyway, so yeah. The map went well, the Golden Deer was able to drive back the Almarians thanks to the work of some archery, I guess you could say. And we also drive off Shahid so that he can probably appear again. He doesn't appear again in the demo, but I do hope he makes another appearance, considering that according to some information we got, it seems like Almarian might play an important role in Claude's story, which I would like to see. Anyway, so now we have the time skip. So yeah, like I said, the setup is very interesting. Actually, I wasn't saying that, but anyway. So, the setup for this is quite interesting. The prologue is the whole before the time skip, so yeah, like I said, now the game is a lot shorter, and give me a second. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure that my recording wasn't getting messed up. Anyway, so time skip time. So yeah, like I was saying, so yeah, like I said, the prologue is just the whole before the time skip, which yeah, I don't mind that at all, because yeah, Three Houses focused a lot on it. So seeing Three Hopes here focus more on the time skip itself is very interesting. And yeah, it does tie into the main mechanics of the game, your base. But anyway, so the setup is interesting, but something that will be pointed out to you is the fact that God's evil again. She wants to war against the church again, which, yeah, that definitely gets some Crimson Flower flashbacks, but hopefully things are done a lot better than Crimson Flower. I hope so, at least. But anyway, so yeah, like I said, the base camp, this is really cool. You're able to upgrade the facilities here, which I'll go into more detail later as well. And yeah, like I said, it's a pretty interesting place, and that ties into what you do during the time skip. So yeah, basically every chapter has these like side maps that you can play, basically like grinding maps in like Three Houses, for example. So like they don't progress the plot, but yeah, you can use them to get experience and also do like small battles. And yeah, I did a couple of those. And then yeah, the demo ends so we get to the next map, which will actually be the Great Bridge of Murder. So in Three Houses you fought Ladislava on All Out. Acheron also makes an appearance, so yeah, and I think they were mentioning him as well, so yeah, he's probably gonna make an appearance too. So yeah, that's that, and yeah, that's all the playing I did. So let's go on to the gameplay though. Now that I've done a short plot synopsis, and yeah, I guess I can give my like general thoughts. Like I said, this plot is very interesting, mainly for the characters, which yeah, I'll get into later. Because yeah, we need one big section for the most important character to me. So anyway, and yeah, what was happening too was really interesting too. Like I said, what Claude has to go through was really intriguing. Like with the battle against Shahid, for example, getting to see Holt. He also gets to talk to Gloucester too, Count Gloucester, before Lorenz actually joins you permanently. Or at least that's what it seems. And yeah, I do know that one although I count as a very interesting Count Gloucester, so yeah. We'll see if he lives up to the hype, I guess. Oh yeah, one more thing too about the time skip. To me, it looks like you get a different unit joining you depending on the route. I got Shamir, and yeah, that definitely made me happy because I do like Shamir a lot. Very fun unit in Free Health, obviously, and in this game she's pretty alright too. Anyway, so let's go on to the gameplay. So, despite the fact that I never played a game like this, it was much easier to understand than I thought it would be, so that was good. The first map definitely helped out a lot for the first couple of maps because yeah, you have the button inputs and a lot of tutorials to help you guide your way through. And yeah, the game I played on normal, so it didn't feel too difficult, but it was still challenging enough. I feel I still needed to play smart. I couldn't just play dumb and then hope to get through. But anyway, so yeah, like I said, normal felt quite balanced, but yeah, there is a hard difficulty I do believe as well. Also enjoying to see that permadeath is still a thing. I actually did go classic mode. I didn't kill anyone other than the first map. But anyway, like I said, this game definitely wants to feel like more like a Fire Emblem game, which I do appreciate, which yeah, we'll get into. Which I'll talk about in a bit too, because yeah, it also released the gameplay side. So yeah, that was interesting to see. And yeah, that's mainly the ordering system. So it still makes the battles feel very tactical, because yeah, you send what you should be doing is that you control one character, or you can switch between them. But the units you're not controlling, you should order them around, send them to areas where either they might be useful for the objective, or use them to take on an enemy that have a good advantage against. And yeah, this felt really tactical, and actually did feel very Fire Emblem-like. So it's good to see that the game still has ties to the mainline game that it's being compared to, of course. So yeah, that was great to see. And yeah, like I said, I did say I like the camp a lot. It has a lot of potential, so because yeah, it's concise, unlike the monastery, but it still feels more nuanced. Because yeah, you can do a lot of interesting things there that I feel like are a bit more interesting than Free Houses, like the cooking, for example. Not only do you cook the food, you eat it afterwards, similar to like the meals in Free Houses. So yeah, and you can also upgrade these facilities too. That's really interesting. So yeah, there we go. The reclassing 2, I also feel like has a lot of potential too. Like I feel like, I don't know if I was doing it wrong or not, but basically what it felt like was I mastered a class, and then with a seal I'm able to go into a new class. So like for example, let's use Ignots for example. So he starts off as a fighter, but if I can master his fighter class, then I can make him an archer by using a seal. And there you go. That's kind of how it works. And yeah, this allows you to also go to other classes. Everyone starts with basically a beginner class. There's no common or noble class in this game, which is fine. But yeah, you master the class and then you're able to go into more classes thanks to seals and stuff. So yeah, very, very good. And yeah, the other thing is cool too, like the training area, that allows you to get more class XP, very useful for mastering classes, so you can get new classes. All that good stuff. And yeah, motivation too, I also like how that's been used. The more motivated the character is, the more damage it deals, so that's great too. So yeah, like I said, just a lot of really... This game feels really deep. There's a lot you can do thanks to the camp. Like, for example, the cooking, like I said earlier. You can buff your attributes through that, like how fast the warrior gauge fills up, how fast the Viking gauge fills up. Really, really cool stuff to see. So, yeah, like I said, performance-wise, the game's not bad, although yeah, frame rate was a little bit choppy. But it didn't really hamper my enjoyment of the game too much. And yeah, that could get ironed out once the full game releases as well, hopefully. But yeah, overall gameplay very solid, very enjoyable, and I wasn't expecting it to be so because, you know, I wasn't used to this kind of game, so So yeah, very pleasantly surprised by what the gameplay is like. Anyway, so yeah, now I'm gonna take a little break and then we're gonna talk about the next topic, because the next topic is the big one. So the main thing I wanted to talk about, Shez, or in my case, Saki. So, one, she has a really good design. Yeah, like I said, I focus on the female protagonist of this. I'm not so sure what the male protagonist is like, to be honest, but I was so happy with the female protagonist in this game. So yeah, so yeah, like I said, she's a very beautiful lead, but like I said, she was like the biggest surprise for me. So unlike Byleth, she talks, and unlike, let's say, Corrin, who I didn't really find super likable, I feel like that's the opposite Saki. I actually found her really, really likable. I think that might also have to be how she acts as well. She acts like, well, a good old mercenary. She talks, well, a lot about her profession, which actually kind of reminds me of Ike as well. She's definitely not as good as Ike, but then again, we don't know everything yet, so... But yeah, like I said, she feels more down to earth. I think that's one of the big things as well, which I think I also have written down here. So yeah, I feel like that makes her more, like... I feel like a lot more attached to her than I did with actually any other Fire Emblem avatar, actually. That's quite a bold statement to make, but anyway. So yeah, this attachment too also makes me feel a lot more for her after what happens. Like the first app, for example. I actually feel bad for the fact that, you know, she lost her mercenary buddies, because, you know, I felt a lot more attached to her now that she actually talks, and also because I find her dialogue very likable. And yeah, like I said, her down-to-earth nature, I feel it also helps her. She's seen as more of an equal. That's why she joins as a student. And I feel like this also not only makes her stand out from Byleth, but also other avatars. It's more like how Robin and Chris are. They're just like normal people in the army. I guess Robin is slightly more important because he's tactician, but Chris really was just... I guess also Chris was like... also kind of important. He was basically like... Mars' personal bodyguard, but yeah. Shez, or Saki I guess in this case, she doesn't feel like super important, which actually I don't mind that much, because yeah, it makes it feel like more of a normal and approachable person. I don't know, there's just something that really like drew me into because of that. Anyway, like I said, she looked really nice in the studio film, but anyway. Gameplay wise too, I think that's another thing too. She was by far the best character for me. She felt supernatural to play. Probably because also she was the highest level too, but her unique class, I think it's like Flugel or something like that. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, it's a kind of cool class. It can use some magic, kind of like Trickster, I think, from what I can tell. So it's not a magic focused class, so if it was in 3 houses, it wouldn't get all magic. It would only get half the usual magic spells. But yeah, it's very similar to Trickster when you think about it. But yeah, it's a sword-based class, and what's cool is she dual-wields the swords. So that's really cool. And yeah, I use like Venom Edges. I believe I got a pretty good Venom Edge in the second map, and yeah, that was pretty fun to use. Because yeah, I think I liked what that sword looked like in 3 houses, but I never used it because 1, it's hard to get, and 2, it's very underpowered. But anyway, so yeah, like I said, very good character in my opinion, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more of her. I can't really say the same for Arvel at the moment. Arvel just kind of feels like Sophus 2.0. She acts very much like Sophus, so... And she wasn't really like hitting the same beats to me as Saki was, so yeah. But yeah, of course, this is all first impression stuff. Things can change as the plot progresses and stuff. But yeah, at the moment, I'm really loving Shez, or Saki in my case. So yeah, like I said, amazing card. Also, looks like I also got a little bit of a tease of what the final class could be. It looks like it's gonna be like Asura. because yeah, one of the skills she got works on both Flugel, which is her current class, and then it also mentioned Asura, I do believe. So that's that sounds like an amazing class name. I can't wait to see what that class is like. But anyway, as for other characters, they're fine, but nothing like too groundbreaking in my opinion. They get the job done though. So like Claude's still, very likable person. I do like Leonie a bit more, I would say. Like at the moment, she doesn't focus so much on Captain Joe, which I think is probably a big boon for a lot of people. That's just like a couple examples. Like Hilda's, still pretty similar. Maria's still very much like her post-time skip self, stuff like that. So like I said, the characters, they don't seem like so different, but they didn't like super wow me. So like I said, they're good, but not too groundbreaking. Anyway, what about Byleth, or Rowan in my case? So, they talk too, and it definitely helps a lot because they act a lot more cold and distant, which I think they wanted Byleth to feel like at the beginning of Three Houses, but yeah, it didn't really work, in my opinion. He kind of just felt like yeah, Byleth does develop, like, characters will point out that he or she starts smiling at some points of the story, but yeah, it didn't feel like supernatural and stuff. But yeah, I don't hate Byleth that much, to be honest. They're fine by me, but yeah, I know that a lot of people think that Byleth kind of fails. So yeah, I thought let's point out. But yeah, this new role though very, very much fits what Byleth was hyped up to be, because yeah, Byleth was of course known as the Ashen Demon, and was a very strong mercenary that killed things with no emotion, basically. So, and yeah, the game definitely does a good job of portraying that in the first bit. But yeah, you're not gonna see Byleth after that, but yeah, like I said, they're probably gonna be the main antagonist. And I actually have some interesting roles too that they could fulfill. My first role was that I thought they were going to be allied with the church, like they were in Three Houses, but yeah, that's not the case here, because Byleth never goes to Garrick Walk, at least in the demo. So what could be interesting is that they get hired by one of your enemies. Like for example, let's say you're like on Blue Lions, like Edelgard hires Byleth as a mercenary, and then that's how Shez can end up finding them, for example. That could be a role that they could fulfill. But yeah, that's just a guess, I guess. Anyway, so the new faces too, they're very interesting too. Like I said, I'm very intrigued by them. Shahid was a really interesting villain that I can't wait to see more of. Holst, seeing him too was great too. So yeah, like I said, the new faces are what I'm very intrigued on. Like the characters that we didn't get to see enough of in the original Three Houses, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. So yeah, that's that. So now on to, will I be getting it? So here's the thing, I wish I could, but there's one big roadblock to that, and that game is Xenoblade 3, and it's the game I have my heart set on. The reason for that is I could get free hosts, but the problem is that game, well, I will only enjoy. But if I get Xenoblade 3, both me and my brother will enjoy it. And yeah, I can only really afford one full price game at the moment, so yeah, unfortunately no free hopes. And it doesn't look too great later in the year too, because we have a potential farm game too, which people have been leaking about as well. And also Pokemon Gen 9, so yeah, it's not looking too great, but that shouldn't diminish about the impact that this game had on me. Because yeah, like I said, I was surprised by how impressed I was playing this. The story was showing lots and lots of promise, and like I said, Shez, or Saki in my case, amazing avatar, and probably the best in the series so far. Because yeah, she obviously gives you a very good first impression, but then again, when you think about it, the other avatars kind of did so for me as well, so I had to just wait and see how Saki, or Shez, moves on for that good first impression. Will they still continue to be super relatable and like are not really relatable. Like, super grounded and like nice to hang out with, kind of like Claude. I guess that's another reason too why I kind of picked the Free House too. Oh, yeah, Golden Deer, sorry. I feel like she works very well with Claude as well. They both seem to work well together. I think that's another thing too, in supports too. Because Shez actually talks to, I feel like supports also end up being a lot more interesting as well, and also helps Shez connect with the character they're talking to as well. So yeah, like I said, this is a great avatar, and I can't wait to see more of what they do. I also love her English voice as well. And also sure about male Shez, of course, but if he's anything like the female one, then yeah, no problem though. But yeah, most avatars are like that, so I'm not really surprised. And yeah, a lot of features. That's another thing too about this game. There's a lot of features here that if they want to make another game like Three Houses, then they've got a lot of material to work with to make a really, really great follow-up. Like, it doesn't have to be a sequel to Three Houses. If they want to keep like the monastery-like gameplay, then they got some pretty good ideas to work on it thanks to Free Homes. So yeah. So that's everything that I have written down in my notes. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. So my next video, this will be the first video that goes up after I come back, I do believe. Next video will be, and also the last video I'm recording before I leave for my holiday as well. So yeah, when I get back, I'm going to be working on the next video, and that video will be the games I have played so far this year, and that should be interesting. So, I'll see you guys again for that.